Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. This is a game on Theta, my favorite map, of course, after Sentence. And we got a UEF on UEF, so that's going to be interesting. First air coming out for Anaryl. Of course, probably most people know Anaryl. Plays an FAF all the time, knows what he's doing. So you can see he's making 3 pigeons. He's got to split those up. He's going to get bombed. Going second land, and he's taking on HyperNova. Who's going 2 PGNs with land. He's got to split those up as well. Here in the top corner, Moritz made a mod. You can see the global ranking, the rating, which is a true skill rating on Forged Alliance Forever, which counts most games. This is not the rank ladder true skill, but just the global. Now here comes the bomber. That looks like it's a move order and then an attack order. So Anaryl does not want to do the micro, he wants to let the computer do it for him. And actually, no, he chooses to do it all himself, but that bomber was coming in at such a speed, it was very difficult to micro. You will really want to stop it, pick something up on the radar. And of course in this game we are seeing bomber versus mech marines. First bomb goes after the ACU, completely misses, not getting hit by flak, multiple flaks coming out. But total map control, 3 mech marines all over the place for HyperNova. And here comes second land. There's an engineer, another bomber coming out for Anaryl. And elsewhere we do see now does one of these flags have a kill? Yes, so 3 flags for HyperNova. He has taken care of that threat. He's still working on his Hydra. Doesn't have a second factory. Hydra and a factory being built at the same time for Anaryl. And now second bomber for Anaryl. His mech marines haven't found anything to kill, absolutely no expansion for Anaryl. Now spotted that mech marine with a bomber. Is going to come in with AC to pick that up, clean it up. And Anaryl playing very conservative here. We can see that HyperNova, after making those mech marines, wasn't able to make too many engineers because he had to make flak instead. But now with those engineers, he's got to start expanding. Perhaps we'll see bomber versus mech marine, and this bomber is just on a patrol route for Anaryl, choosing not to fly in, so it's a really nice expensive scout, but a scout with a radar, so that's really nice. This mech marine wants to die as well, so already 1 kill for Anaryl, 2 kills for Anaryl, first 2 kills of the game. Of course no, that was second and third kill, and that mech marine overkill against it. No wreck from that mech marine after getting bombed. Multiple bombers now for Anaryl. And HyperNova pushing out with flax. This is what happens when bombers are used against the player. Everything is kind of screwed up. We got flak, we got engineers all out of order. And now it looks like tanks coming out for Anaryl. HyperNova. HyperNova going to the middle to get those rocks. And more bombers. I think another bomber just got taken out. Anaryl still no kills on his bombers, except that mech marine. Anaryl picks up a mass extractor, and it looks like these tanks are going to pick up an expanding engine from Anaryl. Up on top we see a couple tanks facing off each other, but it looks like numbers advantage with this flak. If the flak was used by HyperNova, it gives a bit of an advantage to the force that it's in. It's got pretty good health. And here a 3v1 battle that HyperNova is going to win some reinforcements now. And HyperNova much quicker to the middle to pick up this mass. Anaryl is just going to completely avoid. He's going to walk past a whole bunch of mass right next to him. And now on the bottom, some micro there from HyperNova, pointing the shots, going 2v5 here, 2v6 with an arm over their artillery. So Anaryl using a little bit of artillery. And still absolutely no expansion for HyperNova. He's been living off these rocks. He's got to get some engineers moving out. He is now with the air factory. He's got 4 land, 1 air. 4 land, 1 air for Anaryl as well. So exact same composition, and going 5/5 land for Anaryl. So soon to have a little more. HyperNova now moving out with a force. Looks like he's going to take over the top. He's also got a force moving down. 2 ACUs are looking at each other. 5 kills for Anaryl. HyperNova no kills, and a bit of an air fight now over Anaryl's base. Anaryl still not really using his bombers that well, and this should be a numbers advantage now for HyperNova. He will win this fight unless he comes in 1 by 1 like this, and actually some good kills there for Anaryl. He might be able to survive. Looks like he's just gonna run as far as he can. And that was a great bomb there from Anaryl, taking out that expanding engineer. An ACU for Anaryl trying to take over the top, getting chased by HyperNova. Could be dangerous for HyperNova, but he does have a couple support units and a whole bunch of units coming in through the middle for Anaryl, looking at HyperNova's base. Anaryl now with 7 kills, doesn't see the flag behind him. Just gonna pick up some mass extractors. It's a very strange game. The whole fight is here. The 2 ACUs up in the top left corner. This is excellent raiding now, multiple forces for HyperNova, playing like a Cybern player here. And these engineers, 5 engineers, a couple of mass extractors, completely undefended. And both players attacking each other's bases. You see Anaryl coming in, has some artillery here, targeting the power. Could be very bad for HyperNova. And at the same time, HyperNova moving in with a whole bunch of tanks, taking out everything here on the bottom. And he's going to move in behind Anaryl's base, and actually the same thing happening with much larger numbers for Anaryl. Did not take the Hydra, take out all the P-gens, and he's going to take some mass extractors out as well. And we got to say, in terms of the difference between these two players, HyperNova taking a lot more punishment. You see some bombers for Anaryl, finally getting some kills, some engineers. And a huge loss now for HyperNova. HyperNova still has a couple tanks. They just got bombed really hard. One more bomb. Looks like air control is actually shifting into HyperNova's favor. Total mess. This is a very big mess. See these tanks attacking. Yeah, they should be attacking this mass extractor, but it looks like HyperNova will survive. Although his base is missing a whole bunch of pieces, a lot of power, a lot of mass. Has an engineer to pick up the mass and rebuild, however. Airfight looks like it's finally going to be won by HyperNova, but map control actually still quite even. These 2 mass extractors are really nice for Anaryl. Basically has the whole bottom part, but of course remember the raid here from HyperNova, taking out all those engineers and mass extractors, and some artillery now moving in through the middle. Unprotected Arty going after the point defense most likely. Of course this Arty, the EEF Arty, has a very long reload, so it's nice to come in, hit something and retreat, but that was a total waste of artillery there from HyperNova. And HyperNova has left a couple of units undefended here at the back door. Anaryl not wasting time to attack. Has an engineer and a scout next to his ACU. Perhaps he might upgrade. He definitely has an eco advantage over HyperNova at this point, but HyperNova doesn't look like he was really phased by that attack from Anaryl. It looked really bad, but maybe it looked worse than it actually was. He's actually attacking and raiding it against Anaryl and his base, and has the total control here on the bottom. It's going to be an interesting raid here with 4 tanks from Anaryl, and actually very good play. Some big mistakes, but very good play from these players, playing a lot more like Cybern with all these multiple forces moving all over the place. You see a triangle within a triangle here. This is going to be numbers for HyperNova, although pretty good reinforcements now for Anaryl. He'll take care of the problem. And once again, through the back door, a lot of success here for HyperNova. And now bombers for HyperNova. Perhaps that Raider would have been a great target. HyperNova now standing in the middle with 4 kills, and so is Anaryl. Appears that the 2 commanders are busy conducting all the operations elsewhere. The 2 ACUs not really being used. There's more power now for Anaryl at his base. Some factory attack moves, picking up all this mass. And big trouble here. Very interesting. Anaryl running back through the back door into his base. This force is stuck between 2 bigger forces of HyperNova, and HyperNova continues to go along the sides. Haven't seen a single force for HyperNova through the middle. Everything really wide. So very nice play from HyperNova. And so as Anaryl is trying to sneak in through the back door as well. 4 kill striker here. He's actually going to move in, get through, but taken out eventually. So in terms of teching, haven't seen anything at all. And this is actually successful. Anaryl, very inexcusable. We do see now Tech 2 land for Anaryl. Tech 2 engineers, so he's used that advantage basically that he got from that raid to get some Tech 2. He's actually got some Tech 2 mass extractors. But through this back door, multiple attacks now. And once again, the tanks get in behind, can target the power. All the power is all next to each other. And a big retreat for Anaryl, putting basically all of his forces behind. And now the battlefield has been cleared. Anaryl has returned home. Some great bombers, some great defensive bombers here from Anaryl. Whole bunch of mastery claim, of course. Now 5 land factories, 6 abandoned here, and now we are seeing Mongoose for Anaryl. Perhaps they can turn the battle. In terms of the Tech 1 stage, extremely even between these two players. But the ACUs, really love to see the ACUs used more. Perhaps, of course, can be talking about upgrades in this game. Really big power problems for both players. Saw some minimal air fighting, some good bombing from both players here and there. Now the Mongoose, they can of course use their range. And the Mongoose have 2 different types of weapons. One up front from the left side, which has a very long reload, so it's good to attack with them and retreat. Of course they have their main weapon, and both of those have the exact same range. But I guess really front heavy, or however people refer to that. Some bombing there from Anaryl, some nice bombing. Perhaps engineers would be better targets. And actually with Tech 1, HyperNova moving in against Tech 2. Anaryl still basically standing with 13 kills. And this is very interesting, and once again, 3rd time for HyperNova going through the back door. He's going to try to sneak in once again. And it looks like Anaryl pulling his forces back. And this is nice, this is all secured, and some free mass there for HyperNova on the bottom. Definitely not ready to die in this one. Power storage, not very good defensive position. Also some point defense and some flak here for Anaryl. And maybe not the best way. We can see great use of the Mongoose from Anaryl. He definitely knows what he's doing with those, using them at range. They don't have as much health as they had in 3599, so 650 health. That's about well, a little more than 2 of these Tech 1 strikers. If you want just brute force from UEF at Tech 2 stage, you gotta make the pillars. Surprisingly, Anaryl not putting too much build capacity on that factory, which is a bit disappointing. I did see a Tech 2 engineer from him, but it looks like it did not survive. Single Tech 2 mass extractor for Anaryl, and we are now seeing a Tech 2 mass extractor for HyperNova as well. So very similar in mass tech. In terms of power, also quite similar, just a Hydra and a few P-gens. And here comes the Tech 2 engineer now for Anaryl's going to get a Tech 2 point defense in the middle, try to take over the middle. And looking at this, really the middle has been here controlled by Anaryl, but the sides, big trouble on the bottom all game for Anaryl. And the top has really gone back and forth between these two players. And I'll speed it up to the slow part. Still no upgrades. And a nice push here from Anaryl through the middle. And this is nice Tech 2, Tech 1. A very quick upgrade from HyperNova. And more bombers. And looks like Anaryl beginning to get numbers all over the map. But perhaps with this gun, HyperNova can even it up. So through the middle, Anaryl just runs the HyperNova over. Tech 1 responds from HyperNova against this Tech 1 from Anaryl, but the Tech 2 force completely free to do whatever it wants. Looks like HyperNova is going to try to use his ACU with the gun against the Mongoose, which is a good choice if he can overcharge, but yes he can. He's got power storage, but big problem now for HyperNova here on the right side. Superior force, definitely a superior force. HyperNova chasing against the Tech 2. Mongoose, good stuff from Anaryl here, hiding behind the Tech 2 point defense, forcing HyperNova to retreat. HyperNova 7 kills, actually in quite a bit of trouble now. Facing Tech 2, HyperNova in trouble all over the place. And perhaps some point defense here from HyperNova is necessary. He is making some power. He is going to Tech 2 with one of his factory nearly finished. Now finished with Tech 2. And surprisingly here, HyperNova staying alive for a very long time against this superior force. HyperNova moving his ACU is going to try to recover, but the whole top side completely undefended for HyperNova. And Anaryl winning everything now. So the bottom has been won by Anaryl, the top has been won by Anaryl. The ACU for HyperNova away from any one of Anaryl's units. This is always a good thing to do. When a player goes with a gun on Theta early on, you just stay away from it and attack somewhere else and try to get him to run back and forth, and that's exactly what Anaryl's doing. This is very well. Now 3 forces from Anaryl, very wide, and now Tech 2 point defense. These are Sparkies, some field engineers, have a little more health. course got a gun of their own, a riot gun, a little similar to one of the Riptides. Now we're seeing this Tech to Force up on top, very dangerous against HyperNova, and a wall being constructed now by HyperNova, and at the same time HyperNova pushing with his ACU. Still only at 12 kills, so we're not really getting that return on the gun. And a wall's everywhere now for HyperNova trying to wall himself in, but in general on Theta, turtling is not the best strategy, especially when the battlefield is just littered with this is crazy for Anaryl here, getting a point defense so far away. Although maybe I spoke to early, we see tech to point defenses here for HyperNova as well. So a tech to point defense standoff here. Anaryl being very careful, trying to avoid the ACU, still at 13 kills. Some engineers here for HyperNova. Good use of the ACU, covering the NGs while they get the mass. So really tech to point defense and the gun keeping HyperNova in the game, and a tech to point defense creep from Anaryl. Perhaps a stealth field in this area would be very beneficial. And we should see Anaryl switch to mobile missile launchers. He's just done it here at minute 21. And a power storage span. This would be a great place to put a bomb. 500 health. That means 3 bombs from a Tech 1 bomber will make a really nice boom inside Anaryl's base. And of course each one of these 250 mass, that's 1,000 mass in a row for 3 Tech 1 bombs. I think that's a very good deal. Some cruise missile defense here for HyperNova. And anywhere where there isn't an ACU for HyperNova, it's complete loss. Anaryl dominating with Tech 2. And really not using his advantage here. He should be building. It looks like instead he just continues to spam Tech 1 and Tech 2 units. He just keeps getting bigger and bigger forces. HyperNova 31 kills actually. Looks like caught Anaryl sleeping here. Stole a couple kills. And now really nice walls all over the place for HyperNova. No more sneaking around the side. Only attack is through the middle where there's tech to point defense, and a bit of a tech to point defense creep here for HyperNova through the side. Trying to protect, but total map control now. So many mass extractors. And Tech 2 Sparky's actually moving out to pick up some mass. Perhaps some tech to point defense here can be a beginning of a new start for HyperNova trying to take the map back. And now the inevitable missile launchers trying to take out tech to point defenses. We see 2 TMDs. UEF TMDs not that good, but also mobile missile launchers now for HyperNova. So perhaps we'll see a missile launcher battle. Also TMD for Anaryl. And we are seeing basically a classic 2 point defense standoff. Both players missile launchers, tech to point defense, and tactical missile defense. 2 things we're not seeing, of course, is shields and stealth. But perhaps we'll see those soon as well. And of course Tech 1 bombers in this case. Tech 1 bombers are great. You see all these mobile missile launchers standing next to each other. A couple Tech 1 bombs, 825 health, so that's 5 bombs. Now Sparky's doing a great job. HyperNova bringing back a lot of units here. Sparky's taking on a force. Really showing the UEF got some toys of their own. Now we got shields from Anaryl. Anaryl has multiple mobile shields moving out of his base. Really big power spam, just Tech 1 power so far. Surprisingly, he's got Tech 2 engineers. Could probably push for a Tech 2. He's got plenty of mass. And HyperNova, you can see here the beginning preparations for a massive defense here. He's got a whole bunch of Tech 1 point defense behind the Tech 2 point defense, so he is anticipating an assault against them, but he's actually got a nice force of his own here, and he is looking to take over the whole bottom of the map. And looks like HyperNova is going on attack. Amazing. He should have been dead a long time ago, but he is now attacking. Of course, Anaryl should have enough units to defend. This is not good, running in a long stream. It's basically going to be a massacre. Yeah, this is HyperNova throwing away his units. He's just feeding Anaryl here. This is called feeding somebody mass. Really no success at all. Didn't even barely hurt this mass extractor, and left a whole bunch of wrecks, and Anaryl is calling a GG here, minute 27. Looks like he does have some power problems, but he definitely has the map. He's got superior force, and he should be winning. He's got Tech 2 power as well. We're now seeing HyperNova saying that he's not dead yet. He's got a Tech 2 shield of his own, making Mongoose. No Tech 2 power, and quite a bit of teching here. All Tech 2 mask extractors, all 4 of his Tech 2 mask. Well, I lied. He's got a couple Tech 1s in the field that are very vulnerable. So a total of 6. 4 of those are Tech 2. Second T2 power going up for Anaryl, which means he can get a lot more shields than HyperNova. And Anaryl not being nearly as aggressive as he could be here with his Tech 2. You can just do a Tech 2 PD creep right into HyperNova, put pressure on him, and then roll in through with his superior force. Because Anaryl has a very good looking army here, but it's Tech 1, Tech 2, we do see some pillars. And it is a bit of a gamble for Anaryl to rush in and try to take on these Tech 1 point defenses with walls and all this Tech 2 plus a ECU with a gun and overcharge. It could be a very dangerous thing, because if he runs in and loses his entire force, it means that HyperNova is going to be surrounded by mass. And if HyperNova still has some build capacity and power, with all that free mass, he can have a very nice counterattack against Anaryl. And Anaryl really doesn't have much to back that up, but if he backs that up with a Tech 2 point defense creep, either before or at the same time as this push, he would have a very nice attack, but doesn't look like he's doing any of that. He's just sitting around waiting, and we are now seeing walls going up, more walls. So you can see how HyperNova takes over the map with a wall creep. So wall creep versus a non-existent Tech 2 point defense creep from these two players in a very slow period of the game. You see a lot of mask extractors going to Tech 2 for Anaryl. Just picking up his gifts. These are gifts from HyperNova. And more shields coming in. So a huge army being amassed here by Anaryl. And walls going up for HyperNova. More Sparkies. HyperNova loving his Sparkies. More Tech 2 point defense. So it's basically a question at the Tech 2 stage. Can you make a better defense, or can you make a better offense? And at Tech 2, it's a clear answer that Tech 2 defense is better, especially with walls, and especially against EEF. But at Tech 3, anytime you have a point defense standoff with EEF, you got to be thinking about Tech 3. As soon as somebody gets Tech 3 with the Tech 3 PDs, it is a very big shift. And now we are seeing Anaryl at minute 31 here, getting his Tech 3 land factory, Tech 3 engineer to the front line, Tech 3 PDs, and it's over for HyperNova. Or of course he can make some Perseus, he can make some artillery, and of course the mobile missile launcher here, Tech 3 mobile missile launcher from EEF, excellent to overwhelm any TMD, especially the EEF one. And this is a really good looking walls here from HyperNova. He's got basically one entrance here, the small one on the over here as well. So any units are going to have to go around, take on a Tech 1 force, meet a bunch of Tech 1 PDs, and then get shot by Tech 2 PD here in the back, plus some shields. HyperNova getting an upgrade. Looks like he just got Tech 2. Anaryl deciding not to attack. He is now making mobile T3 artillery, and a Tech 3 engineer going to the front lines. We should be seeing, yes, this is going to be a Ravager right here. And this could be the end for HyperNova, this Ravagers. What is the answer for HyperNova? He is taking his ACU, perhaps to Tech 3. Looks like it is a Tech 3 upgrade for HyperNova. He is recycling his factories, his Tech 1 mass, his Tech 1 factories. He's got a single Tech 2 power, and Tech 3 mass for HyperNova. That's plus 27 mass. That's what is that? 13.5 Tech 1 mass extractors. That's a very nice mass extractor right there. HyperNova going to Tech 3, and if HyperNova gets Tech 3, he can push Anaryl back if Anaryl doesn't make these Ravagers quick enough, but he's already almost got one. And one surprising thing, Anaryl with so much power, no stealth. No excuse not to have stealth in this case. We see some scouting attempts from HyperNova, but they are shot very quickly. Still at Tech 1 power, and now we're seeing the artillery from Anaryl beginning to make an impact. HyperNova having power problems with that upgrade. And here it is. whole bunch of Tech 3 artillery now shooting over a hill at that base in the distance, and some missiles actually being fired back. Tech 3 UEF artillery, a good looking unit. You can see these shells. This is the view from this side. Should be seeing some shells coming in. See some planes in the distance. And there are the shells. The ACU for HyperNova now at Tech 3. Getting some Tech 2 shields. He needs those desperately. See TMD getting taken out. Tech 2 point defense. And Tech 3 PD creep. Alright, so Anaryl basically did not want to spend all the resources in the Tech 2 PD creep. He just went Tech 3. Perhaps that's a good choice. And a stealth field now for HyperNova. It's good stuff. Going for a second T2 power. He desperately needs it. Tech 2 mask extractors here, a single Tech 3. HyperNova really on the edge of death here, minute 36. Pushing out with Tech 1. This artillery, 12 kills for one, 5 for the other, 11 for the other. Just devastating HyperNova's base. HyperNova going with a stationary artillery installation. This definitely outranges the Tech 3, but much more expensive, and HyperNova having so many problems trying to get those shields. So Tech 2 stationary artillery versus Tech 3 and Ravagers. And there's no way for Anaryl not to just run HyperNova, or perhaps Anaryl is afraid of these walls. Why aren't these forces just moving in and putting pressure on HyperNova? I don't know why. And actually HyperNova getting a victory here on the bottom with a Tech 1 force against Tech 2 and Tech 1. Amazing here from HyperNova. And if he breaks through this wall, a bunch of undefended mask extractors. And now this artillery finally begins to shoot. This is a very rarely seen unit. It's really only necessary for these types of situations. And we're also seeing a Ravager being constructed here by HyperNova. But this is actually a very good unit. It has a very long reload. You get some power storage around it, or just power generators to speed it up. You can see minus 100. It takes a lot of power, so you don't want your power to drop. And where's there's some Perseus here. Tech 3 PD. And now, yes, HyperNova has broken through the back. And this is the 4th time. He has done this at Tech 1. And Tech 1 units once again, so late into the game, I'm going to do it again. And a whole bunch of 17 kills for these mobile artillery protected by mobile shields. Of course, mobile shields a lot weaker than the Tech 2 shields here. We are now seeing the Ravagers making their impact felt. 3 kills for this Ravager from Anaryl. And we're seeing a third artillery installation. Some Tech 2 point defense. And this is a UEF on UEF Tech 3 stage standoff. But so much trouble here on the bottom for HyperNova. But the Perseus, of course, will clean up this Tech 1 mess. This is like riot police against some anarchists here. Really no chance. We got, yeah, this is a really good unit. You rarely see it. Whenever you see it, it's nice to take a long look. Here's sitting inside a shield. ACU getting yet another shield. And the Sparkies. So HyperNova, thank you. Very big thank you for making all these units we almost never see. Sparkies and Tech 2 artillery. Anaryl here is still trying to put an end to this. He's got a nice force here on the side. Tech 2 for the most part. He's going to run into a whole bunch of Tech 2 point defense. Yeah, and really no chance. This is not clear why Anaryl is attacking with such small forces. And actually this Tech 3 PD creep is no longer moving forward. So Anaryl has built all these different potential strategies, but he's not executing any one of them. And looks like it's Perseus. Perseus are always a good idea, and under all circumstances. Perhaps here would be great to just drop a bunch of Perseus. Just go around, take air control, just start attacking from the back. And actually we're seeing HyperNova here running out of space, filling everything up with Tech 2 point defense, Tech 3 and artillery. But that's a lot of Tech 2 point defense. He might actually be in position to stop an experimental. Of course not a fatty, and we might see a fatty very soon here. Minute 41. Actually, I have no idea how long this game lasts. I know it's long, but I didn't realize it was this long. So now we see Tech 3 mask extractor. So Anaryl putting quite a bit into his tech, keeping his ACU still Tech 1 under some shields next to Tech 2 power. Still no Tech 3 power from any player. A total map control for Anaryl for about the last 20 minutes. HyperNova not taking more mask extractors, Tech 3. Still just a Tech 2 power. And both players, looks like Anaryl just sort of given up. He's content with just putting this amount of pressure. Instead of making more artillery, he's making Perseus. And Perseus are just standing here. So that's very surprising. Perhaps even with all these Perseus, all these units, just moving in, no matter how you move in, just attack the wall, you're going to win. Perhaps Anaryl wants to win this with style. We'll see what type of style he's going for. But so far he's losing his shields against the stationary artillery. Very surprising we don't see any power around these to speed things up. And some interceptors. We see those interceptors, Tech 1 freely flying above HyperNova's base. That's a great signal for Anaryl to make some transports. Just put them anywhere. But Anaryl just sort of trying to smother HyperNova with all types of units, but HyperNova not ready to give up. Taking his shields to Tech 3. You can do this with every single faction. Go from Tech 2 to Tech 3 except for Aeon. And I'm not really sure why that is, but Aeon definitely do not have any shield problems with those Tech 2 mobile shields. Still Tech 1 air. It's very surprising from Anaryl. And Anaryl here at minute 44 has started a fatty. And the fatty should be very nice, of course. It's a little known fact, but perhaps thermal players definitely know. This is a very good counter to fat boys. It outranges them and it does a lot of damage to shields. And the fatty actually doesn't have that much health. What it has is range, and this unit outranges it. But if Anaryl puts a whole bunch of shields around the fatty, really no chance for a HyperNova. And slowly losing the units here. You can see that artillery doing a good job. It outranges a Tech 3 PD. Doing a very good job here. Do we see more? Yes, that's because we now have a total of 5 here from HyperNova. And HyperNova now making these around a power generator. That's a very good idea to do that. And some more Tech 3 shields. Now definitely HyperNova winning this artillery standoff. Some desperate measures here from HyperNova trying to get the shields, but of course those won't last very long. Of course these units are pretty much expendable for Anaryl because if he wanted to use them, he would have used them a long time ago. Now they're just targets for HyperNova. You really gotta love your units. You gotta let them do their thing. Don't just keep them getting shot like that. Now losing some infrastructure, some TMD, and looking at these mask structures, great targets. Tech 2 for any cruise missiles that HyperNova might want to build. HyperNova now going with a Tech 3. Total of 7 Tech 2 RD, Tech 3 power, sticking out from underneath the shield. An opportunity for Anaryl. Anaryl now going with the fatty. I might actually stop this video pretty soon and upload part 2 later. I'm seeing some of this Tech 1 now. You can see it did not get better with age, not getting taken out by superior units. Tech 3 power for HyperNova. We do not see Tech 3 power now halfway done, more than halfway done for Anaryl, deciding to build it before the fatty. Major power problems for Anaryl. You do not want to have power problems when you're doing an artillery standoff against an enemy. That makes all the shields pretty useless. More walls now for HyperNova, making this wall a little deeper. Take a really long path to get to his base. This is very reminiscent of something like Age of Empires, where walls were so critical, and this you can make these types of arrangements. Perhaps HyperNova is taking that from, and Supreme Commander, very rarely you see this, because engineers and ACUs can reclaim these easily, but in this case this place is so dangerous that no engineering units can possibly be here, for Anaryl at least. The fatty is getting a lot of build capacity here at minute 48. This artillery trying to be sneaky. Actually, good protection there. Just saw a bunch of Perseus. He's shot from far away. But now we are seeing artillery from HyperNova firing back on this position. It's still very much a stalemate. Take 3 shields for HyperNova. HyperNova is getting more and more defensive structures. All of his structures are serving a single purpose in defense. All the different things that Anaryl have built are serving very different purposes. But this fatty eventually should put an end to this. Surprisingly, still take 1 air. And some scouts now for HyperNova. Perhaps he has a plan. Now going with another Tech 3 shield. He'll need many shields. One thing he might even think about doing is make some mobile shields, but instead he's making riptides. Riptides are a good choice if you want to come out and attack. And now the fatty has been completed, and I'm going to be an ass, and I'm going to stop this video now and show you guys part 2 later. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one and look forward to the second one.